How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to do my job as an unsalesman and do the best I can in trying to unsell you in as many products as I can. I'm going to try to render some things that you normally buy to be completely unnecessary. This is done on my part by pointing out certain aspects of the product so that you wouldn't even want to buy anymore. Before we begin, let me just tell you, don't buy it, you don't need it. This is a clip at the grocery store that you may buy in order to close your chips. Now you can actually close this bag of chips without needing one of these clips. Just fold one corner over and then go about 1/3 the way here and then fold it down again. And then you can see the triangle form here. Tuck this underneath and then wrap that little triangle further in one more time. And then you try to make it all neat again. Voila, see? No clip needed. Now this is a bag of pop chips and it's relatively more healthy than regular fried potato chips. But let me look through the ingredients and show you what's bad about it. Dried potato, rice flour, it's all these starches. It actually converts to sugar in your body. These type of starches actually contributes to diabetes. If you eat a lot of starches, it'll be just as bad for you as if you eat a lot of sugar. You get about 200 milligrams of salt per serving and there's 3.5 servings here. I think I can actually eat this whole bag in just one sitting. So it's not 8%, it's actually 28% worth of salt that you're gonna eat with this bag. You'll have to note that the ingredients in here, whenever it says yeast extract, it's just another form of saying MSG. Now some people may say, MSG is not all that bad, but for me, if I eat too much MSG, I get really thirsty. So there you go, even with a relatively healthier type of potato chip that's not fried in oil, it's still a little bad for you for consuming all this starch. This is a lemon squeezer that I've reviewed before. Ever since I reviewed this, I actually have not even used it once. Now yes, I can put this in and squeeze the lime. I'm not squeezing a lemon because I'd rather have some lime juice. So okay, after I use this thing, I actually have to wash this little gizmo here. This looks to be about 1.5 tablespoons. But guess what? I can do it just as easily with my hand, and let me show you. If you have a good grip, there's no need for a lemon squeezer. So after I squeeze it with my hand, let me try and squeeze it with the squeezer again and see if, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, about 5 drops of more lime juice coming out. That's good. So I could have very easily just squeezed it with my hand, add some sparkling water, and there you go, I got a little drink right here. About 3-4 years ago, I went to the mall to a sunglass hut and I bought this Versace pair of sunglasses for roughly $200. I was like, yeah, I got a bonus, maybe I can just spend a little bit. Sure, I really like these glasses, see, it looks great. However, I realized if I use cheapy sunglasses, the UV protection is just as good. If it's polarized, it's just as good as well. The markup on these sunglasses is incredible. If you go to like any department store, Sunglass Hut or whatever, it's actually made by the same company. Now, it's not the fact that it's made by the same company that bothers me, but these sunglasses being charged $200 for such little material, yes, there's design in it, but I think it's a little bit overpriced. I got this pair of sunglasses for free from Home Connect. I actually used a device to check the UV protection in all of these sunglasses. It turns out this pair actually had the best UV protection. If you're interested in how I tested these, I'll leave my video over here. Now on top of it having superior UV protection, it also does not look bad because it's white, and I kind of like this look of this white sunglasses compared to these aviator ones, which looks like this. So dirt cheap or even free sunglasses does not necessarily mean that it's gonna look ugly. I actually prefer this white pair of sunglasses these days, and these are actually my favorites. On to the next thing. You actually do not need to buy a tire pump that plugs into your cigarette lighter. Why? Because you can go to any gas station and they're legally required to provide you with air for your tires. What this means is that if you have your own personal air inflator device for your car, you just end up having to keep this device alive and you just kind of have to service it. If it ever breaks, you just have to go and buy a new one. So if you do not have this device at all, you can just go to the gas station. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but you don't have to keep yet another device around. I used to be really big on sous vide cooking because it's this new style of cooking, hot water temp bath or something like that. But I've since realized that packaging all your meat in plastic bags and putting it in a warm bath is not necessarily very good for your food. My reasoning here is that keeping plastic next to your food at an elevated temperature could have the plastic leak into your food. Now they have those chemical safe bags that are specially made for sous vide. However, I do not quite trust those because regulation says they only need to be below a certain parts per million of leakage. This completely means that if you put your food in those bags, it's going to be a non-zero parts per million leakage. Now, how much chemical leakage is too much? Well, I don't know, but I prefer to have 0 rather than a couple parts per million. So with that in mind, I've generally made a lot less steaks using the sous vide method. Instead, I'm just putting eggs in there without any plastic bags. The next thing, unfortunately, are restaurants. Think back at the number of times where you dine at a restaurant and you actually did not feel well after. I'd say it's about 1 in 10 chance where after I eat, I feel a little not right. I did not quite get sick, but there's a little thing, something not right. Maybe it's not clean or something, where it causes my digestive system to not functioning as well. Food poisoning is also quite a possibility, and it depends on if you go to a reputable restaurant. I've been to reputable ones and I still got food poisoning before. Now, in addition to all this, when they prepare the food, you're not there looking at them, okay? People at home, if you're in control of your food, if you dropped it on some dirt or something, you're not just going to wipe it off and put it back on your plate. Whereas in a restaurant, if no one's looking, you might just have something that dropped on the ground, pick back up and put on your plate. From what I hear from all the people that work at restaurants, depending on which restaurant, of course, you're not going to like what you hear based on what they actually reuse. Sometimes the food might not be the freshest and they try to cover it with spices or whatnot. And now all of these are quite a danger, and I know whenever I cook my own food, there's really low chance of me feeling unwell. The next thing is a toothpaste squeezer. You may see some of those little tiny gadgets where you feed this end into it and you twist and twist and it turns it into like a little loop and it squeezes all the toothpaste out and holds it there. Now I'm telling you, you don't really need all this. There's nothing wrong with pushing all your toothpaste up to the top, flip the bottom over and put a rubber band over the bottom, and look, problem solved. Using this method, I actually only need to redo the toothpaste maybe 2 or 3 times over the life of the whole tube. So there you go, no toothpaste squeezer needed, no item that you need to buy. Next thing is gym membership, and this might be a bit controversial. For me, if I really want to lift weights, I can go to the gym at my work and lift weights, therefore I don't need to buy a gym membership. Some people argue that they don't want to see their coworkers, that's why they buy a separate gym membership outside of their work. I think this is just silly. If I do not have the option of using a gym at work, and a lot of people actually do not, you can use one in your apartment complex, or you can just do away with the whole gym thing. For me, I rather run around the park or hike instead. If I really want to lift weights, I can just do it at home with simple weights. The list goes on, and I hope these ideas completely render some of these products completely unnecessary for you. Therefore, you do not have to buy it. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below. Let me know some arguments that you have for not buying certain products. If you're interested in supporting my channel, don't forget to check out my Audible link down in the video description below, where you can get a free audiobook, and if you don't like the audiobook or the service, you can cancel it before the trial period ends, and you can still keep the audiobook. This is for free, and you can still help benefit this channel. You can also support my channel directly through my Patreon link over here, where I give various different perks for different levels of contribution. And don't forget to subscribe over here and hit that bell button next to the subscribe button if you're interested in getting new notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching.